Shotgun Pinboard has gone live this morning. I've had 14 downloads so far, which I'm really appreciative of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the plan, basically, of what's going on. Obviously, it's a one-man show, and the plan is, for me, my goal would be that I get enough donations that I can be completely employed by you guys and be a 24/7 kind of support thing, even though I'm one dude. That's my plan. The plan with the product itself, obviously, is add as many tools to help the new guys learn, and tools for, you know, long-time players and users to know what they're doing. So what I'm going to do, most of this stuff isn't actually implemented yet, and I'll be running through what I'm planning to implement in version 002 if all goes well and I can actually put all my time on this. I mean, I'm currently coding at the moment, but I'm, you know, looking for work and doing all that kind of stuff. So at the moment we can load a map. You can pick whatever picture you want, basically. Now this works best obviously with something with a ruler, or I'm in the middle of debugging things. So depending on the map, I mean, at some point you will be able to save rulers to a specific map, so you'll be able to save a package, so then that way the ruler will always be accurate to the map that you're using. So that's one of the plans that will be implemented. But at this stage, what we've got, we can use a scale. So we've got nautical miles here. Now if we just turn the ruler on, because when you first start up, nothing is running, it's just in a pure maps loaded mode. You can drag, and okay, so that's 125. Okay, so it's all, I think I've set it to this by default. So this should be 100. It's close. It's not 100% accurate, but it's as close as you're going to get. I mean, if you're clicking on a map and dragging things, it's not going to be super on point anyway. So what we can do, say for instance we want to fly from 0 to the 100 here. We can start a flight plan. Now that'll put that first ruler, currently how this operates, that first ruler will now be added as the first leg. So you've got an init waypoint, which is 0 nautical miles. As you can see, nautical miles is 0. It gives you the conversions there as well. If you go to 1, that's actually the end of that leg. So as I described it before as waypoints, it still behaves as waypoints, but in a different sense. Not kind of what you're used to, but it displays relevant information. So waypoint 1 is 99.6 nautical miles away from the init position. Now here you can actually drag it. This function is a bit borked. The reason being is that when you start, you know, throwing down rulers and extra stuff, one of the modes gets thrown out. That is a bug that I'm aware of that will be worked on. So now what we'll do, we'll just click, we want to go to under construction, cars new. Okay, so what we're going to do is add waypoint. Now as you can see, if I'm scrolling like this, it seems to work fine, but as soon as you scroll with the mouse wheel, for some reason it's not drawing repaint. So I am aware of that issue. That will be resolved. Quick fix, just click on the scroll bar and there you go. So now we can see that the total leg, the total flight plan at the moment is 156.5 nautical miles. You get your conversions in here for your kilometers. So if we want to see from waypoint 1 to waypoint 2, we'll actually see that it's 56.7 nautical miles. Alright, so what we can do now is just compare that with the type of aircraft we're going to be flying. Now obviously this information is, you know, perfect conditions. So your estimated cruise, I would assume that you're flying at 220 knots max speed, That's just letting you know what your max speed is, what your ceiling is, the takeoff weight, fuel capacity, and your ppm at cruise. I can't remember what that is, but I know that that's pounds per hour. So you can actually adjust this, what speed you're flying, your current fuel, your pounds per hour, and you can start a timer. So your range in nautical miles is going to be 806.7. Your estimated flight time for this is 43 minutes, and that's traveling at the standard information that we've got here. So now we've started the timer. This will actually give you an ongoing countdown. So as time goes on, your range will change. I do remember implementing that. However, there's no ticker to say that it's going by, and I wonder whether it does it every minute or not. We'll just keep the timer going and see how that goes. Okay, so we've got 2 legs here. Now we want to change that. Let's just move that along. Now as you can see, this is updated. You've got your init position, which is still going to be 0, 1, which has now changed, and 2 has changed because obviously we've moved that single waypoint. We can also move this waypoint over here. So as you can see, the totals are all changing, so you can be aware of what it is, of your distance and time, how long it's taking you. And as you can see, you've got 219 minutes flight time left, and your range is 803 nautical miles. So that timer does work, so we'll just stop that for now. That is actually counting down, so you can be aware of what you've got left as a guesstimation. If you've got this next to you on a tablet or another screen, it can help you out. Another thing that that currently works, so if we go in here, we can right click and we can lay a contact down. So if someone said, oh, there's a contact at whichever airfield that is, it's saying, you know what, I'm gonna Kamushane. Alright, you yourself have just earned it. So let's right click on the 1 and we'll go contact. We've got a radar spike. I can see it's a clamshell, so we'll put a clamshell there. Now if you minimize the map, it doesn't always work. This is a bug. See how it's moved around? However, if we were to put down, now this I don't fully understand. This is something that I'll be looking into. If we put down red smoke here, that still moves, and it's putting it in the wrong place. However, if we were to go to the top of the map here, and say for instance we put a smoke here, and we've got a white smoke, and I go map plus, map plus, map plus. This one's still not working. That one's a little bit buggy. That one's moving for some reason. I think it changes once we put down a flight plan. However, that is something I am aware of that will change. But the contacts that I've got in here so far, you can see what's in there. If we right click, we've got contact, and we've got you know, smoke, radar spike, friendly ground, and enemy ground. It basically just changes the color at this point. So if we were to put down a friendly ground, and we see it's blue, so it's red 4 and blue 4, there will be a preferences. I don't think I've got that window. No, the window's being made. Currently in the process of creating that. You will be able to change these. I do want to add, now because it's cosmetic, it's not going to be something that's high on the list, but we will be adding the ability to change. See, now that's gone yellow for some reason. See, these are little things that I'm aware of, and they will be fixed. But there will be a preferences window where you can actually change the colors, sizes, that kind of thing. Because the plan is, if you're going to add an aircraft to a flight or create a new flight plan, so you can have multiple flights going, you want to be able to change the colors and select them as you want, and then maybe we can have like a little notification somewhere, you know, the call signs that will be added, because you'll be able to create a pilot, save a pilot, load a pilot, and you'll be able to attach them to an aircraft, and the aircraft will be able to be attached to a flight plan. So it's going to be a little bit modular in its operation, because the way I want to get this to work is when things are modular and you can attach things differently. So, you know, a leg's not always going to have to go into a flight plan, and a flight plan's not always going to have to go into an aircraft. We'll probably be able to do some pretty cool stuff later on. So currently these are just notes that I'm leaving for myself. It's going to be modular at some point. There won't be any visible changes, core logic changes to allow saving of files, so that's something that I'll be adding in the next version, provided I get time. And I also want to find out why laying these down, because it's the same logic, they will be moved, they will be fixed. So then when you're minimizing a map and maximizing a map, they won't move and they'll stay where they're supposed to stay. So I am aware of some of these bugs, but like I said, you can feel free to send an email to Shotgun Pinboard Contact at gmail.com. If you also want to donate, you can donate there. If you want to send an email to let me know if you found a bug or whatnot, please send me an email and I'll get on top of it. But we've got 14 downloads so far. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this. In its current form, it's probably not performing the best. As long as I can get these to stay solid, the contacts, it's going to be useful just in itself. So at the moment, if we were to let's see, file, load map, let's just load that map again. There's no function to clear at the moment. Oh, object set to an instance of an object. Great. Always got to have a crash on. It's always got to happen. Alright, so the next version as well, I'll probably get rid of that sound that plays, just because I put that in for my joy actually while I've been using this. But if we go to load map, you probably want to close the application and open it again in this instance, but in its current function for learning and basic stuff, I reckon you could probably get away with switching the ruler on, and then, you know, I want to go from there to there. It's about 67, bearing 67. You know, you can start the flight plan from there, and then you want to go over here, add the waypoint, and it'll give you a roundabout how long you're going to be in the air for, that kind of thing. So it is quite useful at the moment, just in its basic form. So if we want to do the Hornet, we can see that, you know, the total flight time is 34 minutes, but you've only got 26 minutes fuel, right? So you can see that you're not going to make it. Time 26, range 130, so you can only do 130, so that'll give you some kind of an idea of where you need to refuel, and at some point I'm hoping that I can put the ability, the feature in that it will actually calculate where on here you're going to run out of fuel and give you a warning. Also possibly make it more clear with red text that you're not going to make it. But at this stage, this functionality is solid enough to be usable on any map. So let's just see if we can get this to crash again. So if we go to, let's use the actual okay, so that one's working. Oh look, they're not cleared. Great. So you're probably better off closing it opening it again. Alright, so we're going File, Load Map. We can go into Strait of Hormuz. So now if you know the distance between, I don't know, let's just pick two airfields. So we'll go ruler on, drag this over here. Now we know the distance between those two is something like, I don't know, we'll say it's 200. So we'll go edit ruler, we'll put in 200. Now this is nautical miles. It'll only work in nautical miles, and hit enter. Now every subsequent ruler or flight plan will have that distance in mind. It will calculate it. So according to that, the distance between these two is now 33.5 nautical miles. Now say for instance we want to change that, so 198. Oh, we got the ruler wrong. Let's edit the ruler. It's actually only 20 nautical miles. So if it's 20 nautical miles, now we can see that this is 3.1 nautical miles. It will change every subsequent ruler after that, and you can drag it along. Now that other thing that we had up here, let's go edit ruler. Now you're not always going to use nautical miles. Sometimes you might be in the Mustang, which uses miles, statute miles. So if we want to travel 34.8, well, we'll just round it to 34. So if we go 34, well, actually you have to click the box first, type 34. Now you can actually see that it's 39 statute miles and 62 kilometers. So it'll work for particular conversions, because if you watched my Blue series, we discussed that little pyramid that you have, you know, time, distance and speed, where you can work out all those three things using a little triangle. Obviously working it out in nautical miles when you're actually traveling at miles is going to give you errors in your calculations, so that will help you with that. Now I think that's pretty much most of the features that we've got at the moment. I think that's actually all of it, really. Some of the information has been changed because I've been working on it. The Hornet, I've now changed, since the release one it's been 220 knots, but I've put it up to 300 knots. This is really just more of a second highest priority thing. The highest priority on my list of things to do is to add the functionality and correct those bugs, because obviously if we're going to be, you know, dropping a contact here, I want it to actually stay there, you know, and it'll actually give you the warning symbol as well that you'll see on the A10 radar. I might add the ability later on, so you can currently move this. That's how it should work. I will add the functionality later on to change these radar things to whatever you like, whether you want to put it, just say, you know, an SA3 or whatever, or give you the particular radar symbol for the aircraft that you're using, just to make it a bit easier for you to work out, you know, which bad guy you're coming up on. So say for instance you're in the A10 and you've got a radar spike of a we'll do a big bird or something like that. So you'll be able to see on your RWR will match, that's your radar warning receiver, will actually match what you're seeing on your map, so it's probably not going to confuse you. Or if you want to learn, it might actually be better to have this say Big Bird and this one to say Gainful, and then that way you'll actually learn the NATO words and more about the air defense systems by looking at your RWR, seeing the symbol, but then referencing back to this and being able to see that, oh yeah, it's a Gainful or whatever, blah blah blah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate the downloads. Please do donate if you can. I really would like to give you my professional servitude, to be honest. I really enjoyed making this, and I really enjoyed using it with DCS, just as, I mean, it gives me a way to enjoy a flight simulator while I'm not actually playing a flight simulator. So I know it's really nerdy, but the whole flight planning aspect of it is really enjoyable. I actually really enjoy that in a strange nerdy sense. At some point the waypoints will actually have altitudes put in there, so you'll know at what stage, you know, we might even go like, you know, how many degrees climb do you need, that kind of thing. It's basically going to be a DCS trainer as well as a flight planner. I really enjoy working on this, as you can tell, and it would be an absolute joy if guys could basically employ me to work for you, and you'll get like a 24/7 support. However, I'm hoping I can make this such a solid product that you're not going to have to ring support, but I would be happy to answer emails, take requests, all kinds of things. And I know that flight simming is expensive, yes, and that's why I want to make it free to use but donate, because I don't think it's fair to have a pay block, especially when, you know, we have to spend so much money on joysticks, and you know, I want to build a cockpit in my house, which is going to cost me a fortune and so much time, and we all want to do it. We're all nerds for this stuff, so I would be very appreciative if you can donate. Please keep this free for those that really can't afford it, but if you can put in $15, $30, and I can get, you know, like as many people as possible to download this and contribute, I'll be happy to spend my, you know, 9 to 9 job will be adding features, getting this sorted, taking emails, you know. I would love to do that for you guys, and, you know, add helicopters. There's going to be, I mean, obviously this isn't all the aircraft, because I basically I've spent maybe the equivalent of a month on it, you know, like an hour at a time kind of thing here and there. There's not really much that I've done, you know, to be honest. This is quite basic, to be honest, but I will be very happy to add more stuff and make it jam-packed full of features and training, everything. I would love to do that for you guys, so please feel free to share this, get it out there. Please donate, and we can give ourselves a free-ish, I guess, a free-ish flight planner. I mean, obviously it's not for real world use, but you know, it's either that or pay a subscription of 100 and whatever bucks to an actual flight, yeah, to an electronic flight bag, which, you know, I would like to be the EFB for Sims. So I'll be very, very happy to do that for not just DCS players, but anyone that likes flight simulators. This is for you. I really want to make a product that's for you guys. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like I said, you know, I'm sitting here begging, make me make me work for you. But yeah, let's try, please, can we try and keep this as free as possible, because I don't want to put like a pay lock. I mean, there's going to be 14-year-old kids that want to be pilots. You know, I don't, it's going to cost them a fortune anyway getting into aviation. That's one of the reasons why I couldn't do it, is it costs an absolute fortune. Let's try and do some more accessible things for these guys, you know, guys and girls that want to fly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Spread it far and wide. Please contribute. Love you guys. I want to work for you. I want to give you something fun, something you can learn from, something that's extremely useful, and I can do it, and I'm ready to go, guys. So thanks for watching. and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope we can turn this into something magical for, well, everyone, including me. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys.